Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to my survival guide Let's Play on the 1.16.5 version of Minecraft. Alright, so today, finally, we're going to build our survival house here. You can see the proximity to the village there and the water tower, and I've got the foundation started, and I'm going to put up a graphic here so you can take a look at an above view of the block layout in case you wanted to follow along or use some of the ideas for a build for your own. So that'll be up on the screen for you to look at momentarily. You can pause it if you'd like. But basically the square here is 11 blocks by 11 blocks. And then I'm just going to try my hand at a diagonal portion of the house. So I haven't done that in a survival house build before, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Also behind me now, over there, you can see the outline, the very starting, just the shape of the path of what the bridge from this little, almost an island, back over to the main piece of real estate is going to look like. Okay, so let's get started. And hey, look at that. I did have a little bit of string, so I went ahead and made some scaffolding. How about that? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do, we're going to work on the first story of the main body of the house here. So at each corner, I'm going to use spruce logs, and I'm just going to go 5 up. Okay, then once I have that, now I'm going to connect them all. All right, so now we got a nice little cube going there. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the floor in. I'm going to use spruce planks for this. Okay, so we got the floor in here, and now we're going to have a little bit of a breakout for a front porch here. The outline's going to be 5 blocks, so I believe that's about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And then I'm not exactly sure how far it's going to come out, but we don't need to decide that at this particular moment. So I'm just going to do a little jut out like that, and that is going to indicate that we have another little pillar coming up right here. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and start a wall. Okay, so from the front, the way it starts is we've got a couple of spruce columns on the end. Then we have 2 upside down oak stairs. Those are going to support windows. 3 center pillars. You know, incidentally, I was going to do this whole thing of windows, but I have to have a staircase that goes up to the second floor, and it kind of goes on a diagonal, so that's got to be a wall. 2 more upside down oak stairs here, and then another pillar of spruce. All right, so let's go do the top. Okay, so I basically mirrored the bottom, but of course I did the stairs regularly placed there, so we can have that little gap there. All right, and now let's go ahead and get a staircase in there so we can have easy access to the second floor. Okay, I'm going to use stone brick stairs. I may or may not change that, but for now, that's what we're going to do. Okay, now let's fill in the second floor with planks. Actually, I think what we're going to do is to give ourselves the illusion of more height from down here, and to save on a little bit of wood, we're just going to use, we'll do planks on top of that so we don't have that little gap there, but on the open space, we'll use spruce slabs. Okie dokie, so we have the second story on there, the second floor on. Now we're going to go ahead and use spruce slabs to fill in this section here because we want to, from the outside view, we don't want to necessarily be looking at those stairs. Okay, and then I got some glass smelting up over there. We'll put some glass in those. You know, these are going to be windows right here too, so we're going to trade out this block right here with an upside down oak stair. Same thing on this side. Okay, and then we're going to cover up that little gap right there. There you go. Kind of looks like in keeping with the stairs. Okay, so we got both of those covered. All right, now we got to put the top cap on it. And that's going to be a right side up stair. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and do spruce pillars right here. That's going to frame the door. Upside down oak stair right there. Okay, and that's where our door can go. All right, so we got 2 walls. This wall here, I'm just going to do a glass wall for now because I'm going to do something with the entranceway here, and this is going to break out. I'll do this in a future episode. This is going to break out into a nice balcony that goes out just over the cliff a little bit here, and then we'll have a fishing hut down here somewhere. That'll be another build. So for today, I'm just going to go ahead and make this a big glass block wall. Okay, now for these windows, I'm going to use glass blocks on this side. And the reason I'm doing that is I didn't necessarily have to on this side, but it's a functional issue. So when you have stairs that run up against a wall like that, if I did glass panes here, every time I ran up this, I'd be getting stuck. I'd be getting, I'd be hanging up on this corner. And when you're trying to run upstairs fast, it just kind of gets annoying. So glass blocks it is there. And the wall is going to also be glass blocks. I have an idea for a redstone door. Trying to figure out glass blocks don't work good with sticky pistons and that kind of thing. So I'm trying to figure out the best plan for it. So for right now, we're just going to make it a glass block wall. It'll look beautiful because we've got the, although I'll probably do the bottom here. It'll look beautiful because we're going to have a wonderful, beautiful view there. Oh, I should use my silk touch on that. I do have silk touch. There you go. Okay, so we're going to use the spruce planks down here on the bottom. And depending on how it looks from the outside, we may do spruce blocks on that top row too, but I kind of like being able to look up a little bit higher that way. All right, so this wall here, there's going to be a step up here going out. We'll work on that in a little bit. So right now I want to get the second story going because I want to get the big peak roof on there. And if you noticed, I'll put it back up when we start on the roof, but in the beginning when I did the graphic of the foundation, there was also a graphic of two different shades of green. Now that's going to be the pattern of the roof, and it's going to be the roof's going to have 4 faces on it, so it's pretty cool looking roof. Okay, so let's go up here, just like we did with the first store. We're going to go up 5 and then connect them. Okay, now we got our little box up there. I'm going to do the walls later. I want to get to the roof, but I got one more step before we get to the roof. On these corners, we're going to break out one more. This is purely cosmetic, except for at the very top. And again, you could even do the top without this. It would just slightly change the profile of the or the width of the peaked roof. But we're going to break out on a diagonal on each one of the corners of this cube part of the house. And that there's already one there. And again, remember, that's a stepped up one. Let's go have a sleep real quick. Okay, now that we got these 4 little breakouts on the corners, what we're going to do is we're going to pillar up with spruce logs, and then we're going to strip those logs. And like I said, because it's a little bit wider, it is going to help the roof spread out a little bit because it's going to be a vertical kind of a peaking roof. But also, largely, it's just to give even more of a sense of depth to the front of this, because then you're going to have 1, 2, 3 layers deep instead of just the 2, and it's a nice little difference. Let's see. Let's go ahead and be smart about this and finish setting up some scaffolding so we can get down. Well, I suppose we could just jump to the second story, but this way we won't have to break our ankles every time. All right, here we go, and we're going to go up even with the top block of the non-stripped spruce. All right, so we got these on all 4 corners, and yeah, it's a nice little touch. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and start on the roof, and then once we get the roof done, we'll do the floor of the second floor so we can get all the, there's some windows and stuff to go up there, and we'll move right along. All right, so we're going to start on the roof. Okay, so once we're up here, we've got to go each corner. We want to place an upside down stair like so, and same right here. So if you were standing in the middle, it's kind of pointing up and away. That's the idea. And then we need a slab right on that block right there, like so. And that's what we're going to do on all 4 corners. Okay, so now we got the corners of the roof, or the drooping edges, if you will, on each 4 of the 4 corners. I'm going to put that graphic back up real quick so you can look at it again for a second. And that's the shape you're going to do on all 4 faces of this. So that's going to peak up like a capital letter A. On the other side of the building, it's going to peak up like a capital letter A, and so on. So let's start framing it out. Okay, so the block I'm standing on is on the very corner. That's that little slab we put at the bottom. And this first one here is an upside down stair. And we're going to be doing, now what's going to happen is I'm going to do these all with spruce first, and then I'm going to end up breaking some of them out because as the roof gets higher, it's going to go out. But just for the ease of the framing of this, I'm gonna do it like this because it's easier to keep yourself sane. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you get the shape in place. Now the next step is we want it to be more dimensional than just a peak, and so every time you get, if you can see where the little dot of my cursor is, every time you get to one of the full block risers, so there's one there, there's one there, and here's one here, we're going to put an upside down stair coming out towards us right now, and then duplicate that coming out towards us, and then when we get to the next block, we'll do another upside down stair on the face of that one coming out towards us. So as we go up, it'll come progressively closer out this way. So I'm going to get started on that.
Now again.
Okay, so there we are. So upside down stair here. And then we're going to do the same thing with the stair next to it. So we're extending it, but now we only want the very outside of the roof line to be dark oak. This one will stay dark oak because we don't want a broken line here. But as we go up, so now again, we're going to duplicate what's right here, but we're bringing it out in that direction. Now, as we go up, this one already, so we have a vertical line coming up and then a vertical line going over. So that means we're going to get rid of this block and replace it with the same thing, but in oak. So all the interior blocks are going to be oak. Just the exterior blocks are going to be the spruce. Okay, and then we got a full block here. And this block is not really, well, it is seen from that side, so we will replace it. Okay, and now here we're getting to another block. So let's finish what we got here. Okay, and now with this block, again, we're going to come up with an outside stair, pulling it in that direction. And then the next block is a stair. Okay. Yeah, we are gonna top that with a slab. So we'll replace this one and that one. Okay, we got some slabs, and then we're going to line the top of this with slabs, and there's going to be one coming out here. Okay, before I can put that last slab on, we need to do an upside down stair here, so it's not such a sharp instrument when it comes out here. Slab, slab, and one more slab coming all the way out. And there you have it. Okay, so now let's do it to this side. Okay, so that's what she looks like. She comes progressively out. There will be a chain with a lantern hanging from that one up there. And it's really hard to see the depth from this angle, but if you were to stand under it, I think it's worth the effort. So you can see how it progressively comes out. And if we run away a little bit, you can see it even more. Now it becomes more dramatic when the rest of the roof is in. Okay, so now that we have that started, we're going to do that on all four faces. So we'll come back as soon as that's done. Okay, so the hard part is done. So now we have these four peaks coming off, and I think it looks pretty good, pretty dramatic. Now we just have to go up there and connect them. All right, so when it's all connected up, that's how it looks. Pretty dramatic, and it's even more of a contrast once we get the little fascias in there above the second floor. Okay, so let's do that all the way around. All right, so the roof is all filled in, and I think it's looking pretty good, pretty dramatic. And so now it's time to fill in the faces of the roof, and then we'll work on the walls of the second floor and finish our extension. Okay, so next thing, up on the third floor, we got to put our walls in there, and I think I'm going to do a mix of different stone on that. All right, so I've got a mix of stones, and we are going to have a 3x3 window on each side, but it occurs to me I really ought to finish this floor so I'm not falling through, so I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, fantastic. All right, so first thing is we will do a row all the way across. The corners are least visible, so I'm just going to automatically do those in cobblestone, and the rest I'm just going to go ahead and mix them up as I go. All right, next we got a ring all around. Now next we're going to leave three wide, 3 tall blank on all 4 walls. All right, one mistake. I went out too far. This wall doesn't go on that beam. This wall stays on the floor. So I'm just going to move all these back in real quick before I get too far. Oh my. All right, so these walls are in. Now before we close them up with windows, I want to do a little window treatment out here, and it'll be easier to do it before I put the glass in, obviously. So let's go ahead and get to this. Let's see, how are we going to do this? We'll just use some dirt for scaffolding. Okay, that's a nice little window treatment from the outside. It gives it a little arch. Looks pretty nice. Okay, we're going to do this on all four windows. All right, so we got all those faces in. I also put the walls in on the second floor and threw some windows in there. You can see there's a couple lanterns up there too. It's starting to look, this part of the house is pretty good. Now, right now, because I don't have the front kind of a entrance way in there, and I don't have the extension on yet. It just kind of looks like a big box, but it's still got a ways to go. But yeah, so that's what the face looks like, and then there's going to be lanterns hanging from right there too. I just got to get up there. And so next up, all right, so next up we're going to start working on this extension a little bit. Okay, so what we got here is we have this step up here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get a stair in this way, and then we're going to turn them. And that's how we're going to create our step up. And then we're just going to simply put a floor in here. I'm going to use slabs to save a little bit of wood here. Now, this has got a step up here, and I think eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my storage room under this. So I think I'm going to ultimately, I'm going to change this to part of it steps up and the other part steps down and goes under this. And then we're going to have a storage room under there. But for today, I just want to get the house, its basic design done. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and start pillaring up 5 blocks on, not these first couple, we're going to do this one, and that one, the one in the middle, there you go. So we're going to go 5 up on each one of those. Okay, and when these are all connected, really you should be following the boundary of the floor. So where there's floor, yeah, that's where you go. If there's one of these, if it's not floor, if it's stone, then that's open air, and that's how you tell which way to do the curves. Okay, and what we're going to ultimately do is make a balcony that comes from the second story there out here, but we're going to save that for an update. So for today, we're going to go ahead and slab this up here for a roof. Okay, better get a couple torches down to prevent mob spawns here until we get lighting in here. All right, so now what we're going to do, we've got some of these chiseled stone bricks. Now everywhere where there's a stone down here, we're going to put one of these up above. All right, so once you got all those in place, we're going to do a bottom row here. And then we fill it with glass blocks. All right, it's such a beautiful view. Who wouldn't want glass walls in the space? All right, let's go step back a little bit and see what it's looking like so far. Okay, I think I'm going to have to put the balcony on there right now. It just looks too odd with that flat thing coming off, so we'll go ahead and work on that next probably. But having said that, the other thing is it's kind of floating right now, so I need to bring the wall down to meet the ground, and then we'll vary those blocks as well. But some nice progress so far. Okay, let's get back to it. Well, all right, welcome back. Okay, so we're going to have a little reveal here. I got a little bit frustrated trying to make the changes to get that extension room. This is my first attempt with putting a diagonal room off a house that's, you know, a substantial piece like that. So I didn't want to make you sit through a bunch of grinding, so I went ahead and I did a lot of work on it, and I it's really pretty much done. So let's have a look at her. So there she is. Now, and I put a big jungle tree there as well. Let's run over and get another angle at it so you can see the part I was having a problem with is that room right there. And at first, I had just had a flat roof and it just didn't look right. And then it's a weird angle, so it's got like this real random block roof that really you just get up there and you build it up layer by layer until it looks good. So I don't know, I'm pretty happy with it. I did a little bit of landscaping. We got some bushes coming down and some flowers and the such, and I really like the way the roof line works, and then it looks a lot less like just a big rectangle with the front porch coming off. So let's go take a look at it. I did a little bit of decorating on the inside. You can see a few details here, a little bit of landscaping, some trapdoors for some extra depth, and we've got these iron bars running out throughout as part of the theme. We did some fireplaces, some campfires up there. I also did some campfires over on this side for a little bit of a ridge here over this wall. I think they look pretty good. So we have a pressure plate here because I'm forever forgetting to close the door when I come in. Incidentally, this is supposed to be my fridge. I don't have anything in it yet, but that's my fridge. And the pressure plate triggers this. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'll look at it as a little stand by the door where you might drop your change or your keys. So it actually works out okay. We got a little countertop here. We got a sink, a little bit more prep area. Got a couple of cooking appliances, some more prep area, and just a little, either a little kitchen island or a little table. I haven't really done anything with this room yet. Nice little sunroom here, and there's some cabinets up above the fridge and over here. We want to maintain our beautiful view. Let's go upstairs. So second story, this is the bedroom. So I got just a couple of nightstands. Got a book sitting on this one, a nightlight sitting on that one, and a couple of dressers there. Then we have a outdoor deck area. It's got a pretty nice view here, right? So overlooking the ocean. And let me turn up my render distance a little bit. All right, went to 32 chunks. Let's let that load. All right, looks like that's mostly loaded in. Okay, cool, 32 chunks. So yeah, boy, that jungle goes quite a ways there. So we really haven't done a ton of exploring out in this on this side of the body of the water. Oh, hello, Mr. Inman. So that's a nice little deck area. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this, so that's to be determined. Then we do have a third story. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this now. An enchanting room will fit up here, so it could be an enchantment room. I'm not sure. If you guys have any suggestions, I'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comments. Or I also have a link to my Twitter account. You can communicate with me there as well. But this is a nice little room here. All right, let's go down. Second floor. First floor. And we have a basement too. So as I mentioned when I was building this earlier, so we have a little step up here. I decided to go ahead and just do it now. So we have a step down there. We'll take a look in a second. But this is our little sunroom here. Same views as upstairs, but just not from quite as high of an altitude. But at any rate, okay, let's go. Let's check out the basement. Okay, so the basement is kind of like our first actual real storage room here, and so we have some chests. I kind of like the way the chests go in here on the diagonal wall because I like to put the item frames on the end. But then, of course, when they're all flush, you got to catch this little corner of the chest to open it. So you can still put the item frame either here or here, and then you have a big part of the chest that you can grab with your cursor real quick and open it. So it's not quite as space efficient, I think, maybe as a straight room, but functionality wise I like it a lot. And then on the rows where the one row would be blocking the other row, I just did a stack of barrels instead, because there's lots of items where you don't really need a double chest, so these work out really well for those. And then over here I have little work areas here. So I have crafting table, cartographer table, we got an anvil, smithing table, yeah, stone cutter, a grindstone. We got room to put some more stuff. I did a couple of small. Here's a kind of just a 2-furnace auto smelter, so you can put various blocks in here, and they'll go ahead and automate their way through. We're using lava buckets for fuel right now, which is pretty efficient. So you put your fuel source here on the side, and then for this oven, it's right there behind it. And we also have a little mini auto smelter here for with a blast furnace for ores. And I think what I'm going to do is over this way, I have that the mine shaft that I've dug. We really didn't look at it too much, except when we were grabbing the diamonds. It's over towards the village there, and it goes underground from my initial temporary starter base to this village. Now I want to do the same thing. I want to go down to level 11 from here, so we'll go down, and then we'll run over to the village, and so we'll have the 3x3 tunnel connected to the village, because there's that mine in the village that goes down, and then all the way to my starter base. So that'll give us a nice corridor, 3x3 corridor, to just keep whenever we want to grind out some diamond hunting. We'll have tunnel to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this in the shaders right quick, because I think it's going to look pretty cool. So let me run over to a decent vantage point. All right, well, the sun's starting to go down, but that's a pretty cool view right there. Yeah, I like that. It's going to be sweet when the bridge is connected up to that. Really like the way the light and the shadows play. Yeah, you can see the extension a little bit better. Love the way the water looks in these shaders. That's really beautiful. All right, yeah, that's a pretty cool look right there. I love the way the sun rays come through the open spaces, and particularly through the window. Look at that. Holy cow, that looks really cool. Well, overall, I'm pretty happy with the way this build turned out. It's got a lot of functionality, a lot of potential, room for growth there. And I think we're probably next up. I think we probably need to head to the Nether, because the only criticism I really have based on my building skills is the palette is pretty much the same as the water tower and the barn. So these three more significant builds that I did are the same block palette. So it'd be cool to go to the Nether and start working with some other blocks. Plus, we can get hopefully find a fortress and start getting what we need to do some brewing and start progressing through the game that way. Looking forward to building another base as well. Boy, that looks really cool. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it. All right, another episode on the books. Thanks so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this video at all, I would greatly appreciate a like on the video, and consider subscribing to my page. We're just getting started with this series. We got a long way to go, and I look forward to seeing you in future. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.